Alright, John Oakes here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom here for HANKSTERS Hot Rods. And today I'm going to show you a new addition to our inventory, this being a very nice 69 Chevrolet Camaro. Now, just for those of you who might be new to us and just coming to us for the first time, I do want to explain to you of a rough location. If you're interested in coming to view this vehicle in person and you need to fly in, closest major airport to us is the Pittsburgh International Airport, which is about 70 miles away. Of course, there are some smaller ones, Latrobe, and of course the Indiana County Airport, but that would be your major one closest to us. So, as we have here, a very nice black, triple black, 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. Now this one's badged as a Z28. It is not, but they have the badging on here to give it that look and that appeal. Now you can see ours is, like I said, the black exterior, black vinyl top, black interior also, and of course we've got the white stripes up over the hood and onto the deck lid. With all of our trim and just bright work on the car, wheel lip moldings, the drip rail moldings, even the lower body or the rocker panel molding, all of which is in really good shape, polished up nice, good and straight, not bent or dinged up in any way. Of course, you can see on our car we have the factory steel rally wheels. These are the painted ones with the beauty rings and the center caps on them, and wrapped around those you can see we have some BFGoodrich Radial TA rubber here on these cars. Now, as far as our doors and our panels on this car, as you can see, the gaps on our door here on the driver's side at least, very uniform, so it's adjusted very evenly front to back, and elevations are good on this car the whole way around too. Body lines all match up. We've got mirrors on both the driver's side and the passenger side as well. Now, one thing I always do, I want to take a look inside here and show you what this looks like. Again, all black interior. You've got your full-length door panels, the factory dash, the black carpeting, bucket seats up front with the headrests. We do have seat belts both front and back, and these are the factory OE style belts also. Now this has the factory 4-speed center console in it with all your console gauges. Other than that, we do have all the factory instrumentation up in the dash. Aftermarket Grant steering wheel, but it's a nice looking wheel for this car. And again, everything other than that is all in good shape here. Our weather stripping and seals everywhere around this car in great shape. Rubber bump stops on the doors, top and bottom. Again, door closes nice also. Glass, you can see that that's in good shape. Again, there's no chips or cracks in any of the glass. And our vinyl top, very nice looking top on this car. So again, no issues with that. Of course, you got the quarter panel accent pieces on there. Those are nice. And then as we come to the back, obviously, you're going to see that we've got chrome bumpers. Now, we have these both on the front and the back, obviously. And we do have the little bumperettes back here on the rear as well. Our trunk lid, you can see it fits nice right here. Elevations with the quarter panels are good. We've got the rear trunk spoiler on the car also. And again, I already mentioned about our white stripes. Now these stripes are painted on. They are not vinyl. So again, they've been painted and cleared over. And again, they look really, really good. They did a good job on that. As we open our trunk, we're going to take a look inside. The trunk's been finished off nice in here with the correct black and aqua trunk spatter paint. All solid, all drain plugs intact also, and the weather stripping in your trunk is in good shape. Nice and soft, it's not torn up or anything, so again, it'll seal up nice. So we'll close this up, and we'll keep on going. Of course, again, you've got more of that Z28 badging on the tail panel. We'll come around now the passenger side. And again, you can kind of look up along the side of the car here, see how nice and straight that body is. And again, the door's been adjusted in the door jamb here. Gaps look good, elevations and body lines all look good. We've already mentioned all of the bright work on the car. We'll just open up this door now and take a look at the interior on this side. So again, just all the same stuff. You know, the black bucket seats with the headrests up front. And again, factory dash, factory instrumentation. Dash pad itself is in great shape too, not cracked or any pieces, you know, broken out of it. So that looks all good. Again, on the passenger side, our glass all looks great over here. We've got the mirrors with the finish, all looks good too. Our windshield, it looks in good shape too. All the glass, all intact, and all there, no chips or scratches in it or cracks. Of course, we have the Camaro script emblems too. And again, you see those factory rally wheels. Now, as we come around the front, this is your typical 69 front end and grille. So the grille is all intact here. There's no pieces broke out of it. You can see those white stripes, again, painted on up over the hood there and the header panel. This is a steel 2-inch Cowl induction hood. And again, that all fits in there real nice. Your gaps and elevation all the way around look really good. To finish off the look of the front end, they do have the black front air dam down below, or the chin strap. Again, just completes the look of the overall car. Now, I am going to go ahead and open our hood so that we can see what we have in here for a motor. So the hood latch works. We're going to raise that hood up. Again, the hood hinges and springs all function as they should too, and hold that steel hood up in the air. Now inside here, we do have, it's not the correct motor for it, but it is a mid-70s, I believe, 350 Chevy block. It's got the Edelbrock, the matching air cleaner and valve covers here, with breathers in the valve covers also. You got a polished aluminum intake in there. You've got the Holley, it's a dual feed 4-barrel carburetor in there. We've got long tube headers. Looks like we've gone ahead and upgraded the ignition to an HEI distributor, and of course we've got a set of aftermarket plug wires on there, and those are 8mm plug wires, so again, a good thick wire to help deliver that spark. All your heater lines are all hooked up here and run as they should be. We've got the factory or stock style radiator with the fan shroud here, and of course we've got, I believe it is a 6-blade flex fan on that to help cool this motor. Now this car is a power steering car and power brakes, disc up front, drums on the rear. And then to finish out your drive line there, we do have this motor here. It's backed up with a Muncie M22 rock crusher 4-speed transmission, and then that is coupled to a GM 12-bolt rear end in the back. So good strong drive line, good running car, nice looking car too. All right, we've got our 1969 Camaro Z28 style car up on the lift now, so that we can go ahead through the underside of this and show you exactly what we're seeing underneath here. So starting up here at the front, we'll go over the front suspension. We do have a front sway bar on this car. Sway bar bushings on the frame, as well as the sway bar end link bushings. Those are in good condition on this car. All the suspension arms, the lower control arms, and the upper A arms on this car are just your stock stamped steel components. And of course your tie rods for your steering, all of your ball joints, all of the rubber dust boot covers, those are all intact, and you can tell everything's been maintained very well underneath here. Even the ball joints on your suspension arms all look to be in good shape. As far as the rear suspension, we'll go back here next. Multi-leaf rear suspension. We do have the GM 12-bolt rear end underneath here too. And as far as brake components on the rear, we've got drum brakes on the rear and disc brakes up front. Just standard GM discs though, just everything that you can buy at your standard auto parts store for replacement parts. You can do that with this particular car. As far as driveline, we've got small block Chevy 350 motor here, backed up by a Muncie M22 4-speed manual transmission. Of course, we've got the balanced drive shaft here to help eliminate any kind of vibrations that you might have in that drivetrain. And then, like I had already mentioned, the GM 12-bolt rear end. So good stout drive line on this car. Again, you can get a lot of performance out of those small block Chevys with that Muncie M22 transmission. Exhaust system, you can see here, dual exhaust coming all the way from your long tube headers here, back through. You've got a set of dual mufflers back here. Now, I cannot see a name brand on these. They do look a lot like a Flowmaster muffler, but I can't say for sure unless that name's up on the top side that I just can't see. And then of course we've got tailpipes on here which exit between the leaf spring and the rear quarter panel just as they should on the car. As far as wheels and tires, we've got factory steel rally wheels on this with the trim rings and center caps, and mounted on those a nice set of BFGoodrich Radial TA tires, all of which the rubber is all in really good shape. We've got here a new fuel tank, stock fuel tank, electric fuel pump powering that to get all the fuel back from the tank up to that motor and feed it. And of course all of our floors then, that's the important part. The floors, you can see these are your stock stamp components here. All of your lines, your stampings are all there. I do not see any patching whatsoever. Again, these are in really good shape underneath here. Even your transmission crossmember, you can see how nice that is. The subframe, it's in great shape. You've got these subframe connectors in here also to help stiffen everything up and make it a much more stout car for you. So again, everything looks good underneath here. E-brakes hooked up. All of your fuel lines are run nice and neat. Brake lines along the other side. So everything looks good underneath this car. So all right, so we're in our 69 Camaro with the Z28 badging. We're going to go ahead and take you for a ride now with us. That way we can show you all the gauges working, anything like turn signals, blower motor, radio, horn, wipers, all of that stuff. We're going to show you as much as we possibly can as we take it for a quick little ride. Now again, it's a 4-speed car. We do have the emergency brake hooked up. As I turn the car on, you're going to see over here that the brake light is on. That's because the emergency brake's on. If I reach down here, disengage the brake, the light goes out. So we're good to go. We're going to put her in gear, get out here to the road, and take you down the road with us for a little ride. So again, we do have a busy highway here. We just got to wait for the traffic to pass here quickly. And we'll go ahead and get pulled out of here. So again, we're in first gear right now. Second, third, and into fourth. Now you can see, if we look over here at our speedometer and our tach, you can see that both of those are working as we're driving down the road, keeping pace with the traffic here. Now our speedo's reading about 50 miles an hour, and we got about 2,500 RPM on the tach at 50 mile an hour. Now, as far as rest of our gauges go here, the factory clock located right in the center of the dash, that does not appear to be working right now, but again, that's no big deal. A lot of these cars, they just don't. That's one of the first things that actually go in them, is that factory clock. Now we're going to go ahead and get turned around here. You can see my turn signal is working. I'm going to go ahead and see if the auto cancel works on that as we turn. And it does. So the turn signal flashes off when you're turning. We're going to get spun around, and as we always do, we have a nice little loop that we do here in our cars for our drives. Alright, so here we are. We're sitting waiting to go back out on the highway now to head back to our shop. I just want to go through a couple things as we're sitting here. So first thing here, we'll just work our way across. I'm going to do the windshield wipers and show you those working. So that's your high speed, that's your low speed, and then off, and they return back down where they should be. Then as far as our horn goes, you can see that that works. Radio, this is an aftermarket digital AM/FM cassette, but you can hear that it comes on. There we go. So you see that that works. Okay. Our blower motor, now you're probably not going to hear it, but the blower motor does work. All of our slide controls, those all work as well. So that does work. As we look down here at our console gauges also, you can see the battery gauge is working, temperature gauge is coming up, fuel gauge is working, and the oil pressure is working. Now right now we're at idle, so that's your oil pressure at idle. If I rev the motor a little bit, obviously that does come up in oil pressure, as it should. Now we have our center console here, 4-speed. We have a little toggle switch here with a light back here. And what that is for is that's for your backup lights on the car. So whenever you want to back up, of course they probably don't have the little micro switch in there, so you just flip your toggle, the red light comes on letting you know that your backup lights are on. Whenever you're done backing up, flip the toggle, the light goes off, and you're in good shape. So we're going to go ahead now and get pulled back out. Heading back to our shop. Okay, so we've got first gear again pulling out. Second. Third. And in the fourth. And again, this is the Muncie M22 transmission. They call it the Rock Crusher. So it's a little bit noisier because it's got straight cut gears in it, but a good performance transmission. This car also, it's been through the alignment shop. It drives nice and straight down the road. The brakes work good. Again, they're power brakes, disc up front. So again, all that works. You don't have to stand on the brake pedal to get it to go. Again, all gauges are working with the exception of that factory clock. And with that said, everything else is really good on this car. So we're just going to continue down the road now until we get to our shop. Once we pull in there, we're going to check the reverse, put her in that reverse gear, make sure it backs up. And then that will pretty much conclude our video of it driving. Then we're going to go ahead and open the hood, show you the motor running just from under the hood, and then get you a sound of the exhaust system there as we rev the motor a few times for you there. So as you can see, we're coming into our showroom here now. We're going to go ahead and get pulled in here. Head back around the back of our building, or around the side I should say. And we'll get down here and we'll get her in reverse. Okay. And we'll back her up. And it's got kind of a deep gear in it. So, and there you go. So the reverse does work in it. And again, you can look at your temperature gauge. It did not overheat at all during our drive. So everything seems okay in here.